Hello. Who's that?
Hi.
Hi, we did it.
Yes, we did.
So, do you want to wait for a couple of people to come on before you want to just like start?
Yeah, we could wait for a couple people.
Okay.
Um, Wait like a minute while I get myself together.
Okay.
I just made it's time for me to have my power shake, so
I actually have to make mine after this.
yeah,
It tastes really good.
it does.
I was a
It
little
does.
skeptical when you open it. It smells like bad, and then
Grass,
you
like
like you put
grain.
it in and you like shake it and you drink. Like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah, I mean, some people take some time to get used to it depending on their palate. Like if they came from like a toxic diet or eating heavy
Oh
like
yeah.
meats and stuff, it may taste like, because you have something that's not as alkaline or the pH from other foods. And then when you drink this, it's like, for some people. But literally after a few days, like their palate starts getting used to it, and they start to crave it. So it's definitely like I've been using I've been in this lifestyle for so long, and I haven't seen anything that tastes as good. I always go back to it.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised how good it tastes. I was like, oh, this is really good for it to be like for
Yeah.
it. I guess like they say that like the nose and mouth palate, like it can be tricky because it can smell one way
hmm
but taste really good. So
Yes, yes.
I
So
was a
that's why I
little
always tell
scared.
people, don't get skeptical when you smell certain stuff.
Right,
Um,
right.
because and especially if it's come from like a whole food source, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just allow the taste. And then I've had opposite where it smelled pretty good and it didn't taste as good as I thought it would taste.
Yeah.
Or you ever cook something and you be like, this
Oh, this
smell
smells
bomb. Like I
good.
know
And
it's gonna
you
be good,
taste it
and then
like,
you be
wait.
like, this bland. Yeah. So, all right. So we could go ahead and get
Yeah, let's get
started.
started. Okay.
Yes.
So,
So, hello everyone. I'm Lauren LC, Holistic Health and Fitness Extraordinaire. I am the CEO and founder of LCFITSYOU. I also am, a holistic coach. We're hoping with Jillian. She shared in her story yesterday or the other day. Quarantine all seems like one day, of her getting started on her journey. And I thought it was like really important that we like come on and me and Jillian like vibe. We can talk hours. So I was like, how about we go on live? Like these are good conversations that people need to know and understand about
yeah.
like gut health and the importance. So, yeah, Jillian, you could go ahead and I know you said you had questions.
Yeah, so my first question is if you can just kind of like briefly just explain why is it so important that we pay attention to gut health and what exactly is gut health?
Okay, good. That is a really good question. So, if people probably, it's been kind of really all over Instagram now. Just to give a little background, I've been in the health field studying nursing for almost 20 years. But I really went from the Western philosophy of things, I was working in a pharmacy and all those things. And then I started going into the Eastern philosophy, naturopathic, holistic healing, and I started to learn about how the hub of everything, of all diseases to the body, starts in the gut, and it starts from mucus. So I end up being diagnosed with two autoimmune diseases, and I had thyroid dysfunction. And like my hair was falling out. I started having body acne. I was feeling really drained. My joints really was hurting really bad. I just was like, I don't understand. I take all of these vitamins. I know I've been working in the pharmacy for, at that time, like 4.5 years. Like I didn't get it. And then I started really learning about gut health. And it's like the hub to really heal the body from the inside out. So it's important when people have anything, like for me, like I was going to doctors, nutritionists, dietitians, and like, even I had a rheumatoid, I had to go to a rheumatologist and all these things. And they're like saying like, you got to take this medication for life. And I asked when I started learning about gut health, and I really started to step into the side, started studying. I'm currently studying to be an Ayurvedic practitioner. And when I really started learning about taking care of the body and just changing what I ate, like I was one of those people that I worked out. I was in fitness first before I crossed over into holistic healing. And I thought like, oh, okay, I'm gonna eat all right. I'll still have my milkshakes and milk and dairy and cereal and work out like crazy. And I noticed the more I worked out, because your body, like working out does well for the body and the cells. And I'm like, why am I feeling worse? Why is my symptoms getting worse? Why is these things happening worse? Like I'm eating a little better, not that much, but in my mind I was, and I didn't understand why was these things starting to heighten, And that's when I started really kind of understanding about gut health and how everything you eat sits in your gut, and it starts to be able to seep within your gut flora. So like for ladies, if you have like bacterial vaginosis, endometriosis, if you have consistent yeast infections, things like that, you may want to definitely look into the gut. That was one of my first few symptoms. And then I ended up learning I had leaky gut. And what that is that as you start to eat certain things that are abrasive to your gut, especially if you have like, you have to end up taking like antibiotics, they're so harsh on like, it kills all the bacteria in the gut. So people say like, oh, you should get probiotics. Probiotics is good, but you want to heal the gut first, because those probiotics is just going to seep right through. So like, as ladies, when you end up having any kind of viral infection or anything, what do they give you? Antibiotics. Right? And for me, I used to have like colds as a kid. Like I was on amoxicillin. So from a child, my gut health wasn't taken care of. And when you have that, it literally starts to kind of just send little micro tears, because it like I said, it kills all the good and bad bacteria. You need the good bacteria. So it starts to kill all of that, wipe the surface, and the body has a hard time to like recover from that. And then all the things that we eat that's not good for us starts to put micro tears in the stomach. And it's kind of like little villi, right? Like I always say they're like little fingertips. And the more that we start to eat things that start to make the villi in between weaker, it starts to seep in. And this is what leaky gut starts to look like. So this is why gut health is so important, because you want to get the things to be able to help to absorb the villi in between, to really hold it together and heal your gut, like kind of cause as a barrier. Because I hear people say, hi, Pill 9267.
That's my aunt.
Hey, auntie. So, when people say like, oh, I can eat the acid in my stomach, not if it doesn't have the proper, barrier to even support that, and it starts to leak through, then that can get into the blood. So that opens a whole can of worms. That was a really great question, but that opens a whole can of worms about gut health.
Well, since we're talking about gut health and how you were able to almost achieve healing, let's talk about the 30-day detox that we're
transformation.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is how I started to heal, and I noticed a healing for myself, and as well as for like my family. I was already like studying into holistic healing. I had like the master's in herbalism, and I started using like herbs and things, but it took so long, and I ended up coming across this 30-day transformation that we're starting, that we're on like day 2 or 3 right now.
Yeah, you're on day 3. I'm on day 2.
I'm on day 3 or day 2. Okay, I'm like, where are we? So I've been doing this for 6 years, and I've probably been administering and helping over about 300 people. thus far. And in this group, this is my biggest. This is about 30 of us.
Wow.
It's
Yes.
about 28 in the Facebook group and a couple of people who aren't on Facebook. And it helped to heal me from the autoimmune issues and the leaky gut issues, the digestive problem. I always had gas, bloating, discomfort. Like, it was such a headache. So I started doing this, and I noticed how it helped for me. And then when I started helping, like, my cousin had cancer, and she had really large tumors, and her doctor was like, whatever it is that you're doing, because she was doing, like, herbs. She started, like, she started living plant-based, got rid of, like, red meats and things like that, because, like, at this point, when you're diagnosed with cancer, you have to be very adamant. Her tumors were pretty big. Wow. So I invited her to do the 30-day transformation. There were some alternatives that we had to do. Like, she needed to eat a little more and stuff like that. And, like, I think maybe, like, halfway through, her tumor started to shrink. And her doctor was like, what are you doing? Like, he was even shocked, because he was like, whatever it is that you're doing, please keep it up. And she just started to heal. She started to feel better, get up on her feet, but this is important, and this is why I'm passionate about this. And I was like, I have to continue to share this, because I watched where she used the healed. She got back on her feet. She was a busy mom of 6 kids and lived in Harlem. So, right around the corner, there's a fried chicken spot. Everywhere down the block. Yeah, there's pizza right here. And then there's Starbucks right there, which was her weakness. And she went back to that susceptible ways of eating, and the tumors came back, and they came back strong. Literally 3 months later, she passed away. So that was why this became, like, a big passion of mine, and because I saw how it healed me. But people think I've always lived this lifestyle. They did not know that I had, like, now I'm finally sharing, like, yes, I was diagnosed with autoimmune. Yes, I eat clean, and I still end up having parasites. Like, it's important to continue to, like, cleanse the gut. Like, I eat probably cleaner than most people I know, and I end up still having, like, parasite gut. We can't trust the food. Yeah, if you don't grow yourself from the seeds to the crops and everything, you can't trust. And even still, like, I always talk about, if you have a car, right, and you put the best premium oil in the car, period, you're gonna still have to get an oil change, no matter how much oil, best oil. Maybe you can extend. What is it, 3,000 miles or something? I haven't had a car in so long. Maybe you can go 4,000 miles because you put the best oil, but eventually you got to get an oil change. It's the same thing with taking care of our body. You're going to have to basically have some kind of reset and do your gut. So for me, I've been using the methods, and there are 5. Am I right? Yeah, 5 different things that help to heal the gut. The first thing is basically what I'm drinking is a green power shake. It comes into this big thing here. I know you shared it on your story. It is vegan, gluten-free, and organic. Everything is organic, and everything has been grown from a farm in California. There's no glyphosates. People don't know about that. Like, crops have been sprayed with glyphosates.
Which is another word for pesticides, right?
Herbicides and pesticides. Yeah. It's the ingredient Roundup. Yeah. So, like, they spray to get rid of the weeds, which is, like, cool, but then it starts to seep into the cells, and the cells of the plant, the soil, and and it starts to kind of block barriers for you to get all the nutrients in the plants, like the fruits and vegetables. My boyfriend's mom, she's from the islands, and she was like, when I came here, even the fruits and stuff didn't taste as fresh. I didn't feel as good as I used to. And I'm like, yeah, because, like, the stuff that they're spraying on our stuff is not as highly potent. So you can eat all this, fruits and vegetables and do these juice cleanse and all these things you want. And that's not to say it's not good and it doesn't heal the body, but we are getting a lesser amount, because if you're not doing it yourself, you may not be getting all the nutrients. So that's why I like this, because it's dry free, so it's still live and active. And you have to drink it within 15 minutes. So it's like, I can go to a farmer who I know and get the best. It has, like, oat grass, wheatgrass, spirulina. I can get all those things and make myself. For one, I'm going to be spending way more money to get everything that's in here. And I'll just kind of read a few things that I had. So it's organic rice bran solubles, which is pretty much the nutrient rich that's on the outside of brown rice, the most nutrient rich. So they strip that from brown rice.
Mm-hmm.
So when we eat brown rice, that's why I stopped eating brown rice. I started doing black rice, amaranth, kamut, wild rice, things like that. But the brown rice,
Right.
they strip that, and that's called the rice bran soluble. So that's what you also that gets in the shake to help kind of like bind it together so it's not chalky and
Yeah.
loose. Because have
I
you ever had
realized
any
that
kind of
about the
green powder?
shake.
Yeah, if you ever
It's
had
so
like stuff that's like
smooth.
it's usually
Yeah.
like grainy.
No,
That's
not
what
at
binds
all.
it together. It's kind of like, sealing. So it has that. It has oat flour, which is really good source of fiber, and support like healthy blood glucose levels. These are recommended for people who have like blood sugar issues, diabetic.
Diabetics.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Spirulina, which is nature's like richest
Sugar.
multivitamin. Yeah,
No,
so it's like
it tastes sweet.
yeah, so it's like spirulina is like literally like plant's multivitamin. It has the green pigment and is rich in chlorophyll. It has carrot juice in there, so it's like really good with like vitamin A, beta carotenoid, so that helps for the eyes. I'm being like very brief. There's so much that's in here.
That's pretty cool.
Wheatgrass, millet, amaranth. There's so many great things, and you get all that in like 5 tablespoons.
5 tablespoons. Five and a
Yep.
half tablespoons.
5.5 tablespoons. So, yeah, usually I probably end up putting like 6. It has a really
Yeah,
good
right?
taste.
Like, whatever.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. And on the 30-day that Jillian's on, you drink that twice a day. So that actually cuts your grocery bill down, because I know for me, with quarantine, I'm tired of going to the supermarket, wearing my mask, about to pass out,
Yep.
and having to buy groceries, and I just don't feel like chewing anymore. It's hot. So
Right.
I love that because I can get all the nutrients I need.
In one
And
shot.
yeah, like, and then it's refreshing. I feel
Right.
full. Like I'm only on day 3. Like my skin's been glowing, baby.
Go ahead, girl. Show it off, girl.
I've just been like noticing, like, my boyfriend was like, "Oh, your skin is glowing." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's I'm on a 30-day transformation." So, how does it taste? It's an appleberry flavor. Now, I do say for people who eat like red meat, never had anything as far as like like people who drink, like Jillian drunk juices. She make her own, so it was like, ooh, she tasted. It
Yeah.
was really good. But I do have people who have, and we're being transparent here. We don't hide nothing.
Right. No.
Where they was like, ooh, it's not the worst, but it ain't the best.
It's,
And then later
yeah.
start to crave it. My first client I ever put through this program, she was postpartum and she lost 75 pounds. And we laugh because she craves it now today. 6 years later, she still uses it. But her first thing was, what the is this you have me drinking? Because she ate
It's,
heavy red meat. She barely drank
yeah.
water. Like she didn't
Yeah.
already have like a clean self. But like maybe about the 4th, 5th day, she was like, oh, okay, I could take it. It's still not my favorite. And then about day 10, she was like, I crave it. Like I look for it, put some ice in it. But you can always spruce it up, put a little cinnamon. There's so many things that you could do with that.
Yeah.
And
You
then
can
you also
also
have,
like
mhm,
almond milk with
yep,
it.
that's how I drink I like stuff creamy. So I put
Yeah.
mostly water with ice and maybe like 3-4 ounces of
Of the almond
like
milk.
unsweetened vanilla almond milk with a little bit of Ceylon cinnamon, not regular cinnamon. That's the most richest cinnamon, and I love it. It's like a good start of my day. That's how I break my fast. And then you'll have 2. These are what helps to cleanse your gut. So the Biomedic is like really, really huge. And I'll just kind of like read a gist. It has a lot of so like the Biomed has been shown to really, really remove a lot of from pesticides to herbicides. And between these two, it has been shown to remove the glyphosate, like I talked about. It has received the golden standard detox project. If people know about that, it's a write-up on there by where it shows clinically proven to remove that from the gut. About 75% of it, because people could do a juice cleanse, but that stuff still sticks to the lining of the intestines. So it's hard to get rid of it. And have you ever seen people who do like juice? Because I used to do it and I shared it on my Instagram where like, my mama blessed me with a heavier bottom. And then I did like a juice cleanse. I did a juice cleanse and this like 40-day herbal cleanse by like this famous herbalist. I did his program. I'm not going to mention because I don't want anybody trying to come sue me. But you can, if you want to ask me privately, go ahead. Yeah, disclaimer. I'm not trying to be, coming at
you know
me.
how you have to be these days, yeah.
Yeah, so I did his, and you look at my picture, and I just dropped. Like, I just lost. It took everything out my body, but it didn't replace the nutrients that I need. So that's why, like, the Power Shake is so good. That's why, other things that's in here. So the Biomed is pretty much a probiotic or prebiotic, and it also has humic and fulvic acid, which is minerals. So you get minerals put back into your body. And it also has digestive wheat germ extract. So that's non-GMO. It helps to be able to coat the lining of the intestines. It has like digestive carbohydrates. Yes, your skin looks beautiful. Thank you. Do I still eat normal diet, or do I have to change my diet? If you eat clean, like the thing is that you eat one whole food meal. Yeah. And we provide, like recipes. I share people who have like that little itch of wanting to go plant-based. This is like perfect to get them to transcend, because a few people I know have tried plant-based and then they went back. It's like, I just couldn't do it. I'm like, yeah, because those intestinal worms still sat in your gut. We still have the glyphosate in your gut that makes you crave those things. So yes, you can have a normal diet. You can have like fish. There's some people who eat chicken, but they got to get clean. So stuff like that. But you can still eat. If you want to go plant-based, that's even better. So that's a good question. So there's so many. So like I said, probiotic, prebiotic, give the minerals back, and then this one is a gentle like gut cleanser. So it although it's gentle, it really it's like kind of like in New York City. We're both here in New York. You know how the street cleaning comes behind and like scrub? It's kind of like that's what it does to your intestines. So it does have like black walnut hull. So if somebody has any kind of nut allergy, like all nuts and all nuts, you wouldn't take this. You could still do the system, but if you have like the whole program, but if you have a nut, you would put this to the side. You wouldn't take it. And a lot of people, I have had people like, oh, well, can I just buy each one separately because I don't want to pay for something and I'm not going to use. You actually end up paying more. So it's like, you know, some of these things are kind of like 3 of the products end up kind of being a bonus in a sense.
Just donate it to someone.
Yeah, like give it to someone who can use a gut cleanse. Yeah. And for us, we do like the parasite method with this. So with the parasite, you get 2 of these. So if you have a friend that do it, you can just give this to her or him and they can get the 30-day on top. So I suffer from Crohn's disease, which is definitely a gut issue. This should help me. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Hit up Jillian. Yeah. And then, you know, if you want me, you and her can kind of have a conversation about that. The best part is that we work with a naturopathic doctor, so that if there's other things and methods, like you wouldn't, if you're on certain medications, because I've had people who had, you know, like I actually helped my aunt who had a heart attack like shortly before she started this. So she still had to stay on the medication and do those things. So yes, Crohn's disease, most issues that start from Crohn's disease is a high intake of mucus in the gut. So what else? So there's also the Super Amino 23. That is, I always say it is like protein on steroids. Like, yes, I love this, especially if you are plant-based. You know, when people are like, where you get your protein from? You can get an adequate amount of protein without this, but like when people saw like my transition, I started getting my little Angela Bassett arms and, you know, all that good stuff. This is my secret. I'm finally putting the cat out the bag. This is my secret. And what it is, it's pretty much a vegetarian protein support that is pre-digested, so it doesn't have to pass through your kidneys or liver like most proteins do, and is absorbed in your blood within 23 minutes, and that's like huge, impressive. And you actually absorb 99% of the utilization of the protein, versus if you had like a protein shake, your body has to break it down and you lose some of it. If people have like steak or meat, especially red meat, it takes a long time for the body to break it down. Yeah, so they only pretty much get like about, don't quote me, but I believe is about 6%. Like it's a very low, between 6 to 11%, I believe,
You
of
have to eat
what
a
they
lot of
get in
steaks.
a steak or something. And this 10 pills of these, and that's what we get in a day, is enough protein as a 12-ounce steak.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not on any medication. That's even better.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this one, I love it. It's really, really good. It gives you all the essential amino acids, the building block of protein. So like when people say BCAAs, got you covered. You know what I mean? So that comes with it. It's definitely really good, especially with people who have lacked protein. And then the last thing, which I love, is the apothecary. I act like this is like, I put this in a wine glass and I squeeze a little lemon.
Yeah.
I squeeze a little lemon in it and I just kind of like act like I'm having like, you know, my wine or
I'm gonna do
whatever.
that.
Yeah, it's good. I put some lemon in it. My friend puts like one with no flavor. You know, she puts like seltzer water in it and squeeze lemon
Yeah.
or squeeze orange. You could squeeze like citrus a little bit in it. And she was like, "Ooh, that's so good." She was like, "I felt like I had some Henny and Coke or so." I was like, "Really? Henny and Coke?"
Put some ice in
So
it, you'll be all
yeah,
right.
put some ice and what this is, so if people know about like tart cherry, a lot of people know about tart cherry, but like I
Yes.
said, the different crops doesn't sorry, someone's messaging me. The crops you might not get the full amount. Also too, there's different cherries. So this is Montessori cherry and it's the sour cherry. So it ain't just like
Pretty
regular
tart.
cherry.
Mm.
Yeah, the tart cherry, you know, it's basically gives you the most potent and it has a natural melatonin. So it's pretty much you're getting really high antioxidants. It has a very high ORAC, which is oxygen radiation absorption to your cells. So literally it's like your cells absorb all of the antioxidants towards it. And because it has natural melatonin, it helps the body to get deep sleep. It's not like if you drink it, you pass out. Some people do if you're tired. It
Yeah.
doesn't make you go to sleep, but it helps you get a deep sleep. So
Right.
like with me, when I used to take it, my work schedule, you know, when I was a fitness trainer, well, I'm still a fitness trainer, but when I used to go to the gym, like I wouldn't get home till like 11 o'clock at night because I'm finishing about quarter to 10, go and get food or do whatever. And I literally have to be up at like 4:30. So I probably won't wind down and sleep till about 1:30. I was getting very little sleep. And I started taking that because that was just my lifestyle, my schedule when I first started. I had to hustle and get money. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I took that. I was like, wow, I'm a lot less groggier in the morning. So I got
Right.
good deep sleep. And I used to have a Fitbit. And it used to show like I woke up every like 40 minutes or something, and I might have woke up like once. So if people can test when they take this and have a you know, like a sleep tracker or a Fitbit,
Yeah.
and they'll show like
iPhones have
over
that. If you
time.
have not iPhones, iWatch. If you have
I
those
watch,
as
yep.
well, like
Yep. So you'll
Fitbit.
see like where it helps you get a deeper sleep over time. Now, if you have insomnia, please allow it to take time for your body. But yeah, that's the kit. That's what Jillian's doing. That's what I'm doing. That's what we're on.
Yes.
So,
So it sounds. So I just want to ask this for my pregnant ladies out there.
oh yes,
Um,
good question.
is this a product? I mean, it's not really a detox, right? But we're calling it that only because we're really healing the body, the mind, the spirit. Like everything is being healed, but it's not necessarily detox the way that a lot of these um, companies
Like
are
a lot of people
promoting.
make it, yeah.
Yeah,
It has
like it's not
detox
like you're gonna be going
benefits.
to the bathroom after you take the power shake. You're not gonna go straight to the bathroom. I mean, yeah, you will,
Yeah.
but it'll be a natural um, type of
Elimination.
elimination, right? So for women that are pregnant, what would you advise them if they want to go on this program, this 30-day program?
Great question. So yeah, like it has detox benefits, you know, and it does cleanse the gut, but it's not the detox where it's like you can't eat nothing, you're gonna be peeing all the time,
Or you need to stay by
watery
a
diarrhea.
bathroom? Yeah,
Yeah. You might pee a lot. I will because you got it, you know, you drink your water, but it's kind of no difference than if you like I'm gonna drink excess more water.
right.
So for pregnant women, really great question. So this is actually great. Just to give you a little background about the, remember I talked about in the Power Shake where it has organic rice bran solubles.
Yeah.
So that's really good and nutrients for being able to get all the fiber content. Is also you like we have it separate as well, but you
Mhm.
also can use it to tap into formula or breast, you know, like put breast milk in use to be able to like fill the body without any kind of, yeah, like there's moms who use this program that it's really good for you getting all the nutrients you need for a pregnancy, but you can get the rice bran solubles and put it in the baby's milk once it's time where they can start getting rice. So it's really great for the mom, the pregnant mom, the baby. The only thing that someone who is pregnant cannot do is the super cleanser. You don't want that effect. I have actually heard of someone done it before because, like, I guess they didn't know. But we do not advise that they take the super. So, like, what I usually say, because my first person who I ever helped with this, I helped her through 2 of her babies. And when she did it, well, when the first time we didn't have this yet, it was still being like studied, tested. The second time she did, and I just said, hey, hold it to the side, and when you want to pick back up, you know, she already had her extra, because, you know, you need 2 of these if you want to do the parasite. She already had her extra. She's doing it with us now, and she already had it. Put it to the side and use it after the pregnancy, so you can kind of like cleanse, because, you know, when you're pregnant, you do have some cravings. You might eat things that's not ideal. You know, don't deprive the thing I love about this, you don't really deprive the body, but you do want to eat as clean as possible. But yeah, that's the only thing that would be recommended. Everything else is whole food source, so it's no difference of them going out getting herbs and, you know, different foods. Definitely, like I said, another disclaimer, always speak to your doctor. We can always get you, you know, information and everything you need. But I've have clients that I worked with from myself as a holistic coach, and I've also worked with a naturopathic doctor and their primary care doctor, and they were like, all I see is food. Like, literally, if you read the labels, I don't know if it can come in. Everything is like organic. There's no extra ingredients, and it says we are our own manufacturer, so it's manufactured and distributed by. That's a little like telltale to know if these products are really as clean as they say. Because if they got a third party manufacturer, they don't know exactly everything that happens. It can kind of, you know, have some things. So, but that's a good question. So yes.
It's a good segue into side effects. Like, what are the side effects of using this product?
So side effects, really none to the extent. Yeah, there's not really side effects. There are people who may get headaches, and in most cases because they probably didn't follow how they needed to. They didn't drink enough water. Some people may have a loosening in stool, depending like how bad or whatever their diet is, but not like excessive diarrhea or anything. And in most cases, being that, because we used to do it a method where, and some people do, like I have some people who literally just not hungry and they just do the shakes. They won't eat. They may eat some fruits and vegetables. I always advise to get some food, or at least up the flex foods that we recommend, because being that your system is cleansing, it needs to absorb a little bit more fiber from food. So like, you know, if I do have people who say like, oh, I got a headache, how much water are you drinking? Not that much. Or, hey, you know, I have a little diarrhea, or like my stool is like really soft or something. In most cases, like they're not eating. So it's really more so like if they do have side effects, it's because they may not be following the method how they're supposed to. But no, there's no like intense side effects or anything, unless somebody has, you know, a cherry allergy. They shouldn't take that, you know, that part,
or even a nut allergy,
or wheatgrass, or a nut allergy.
So I guess we're gonna open the floor to see like if anybody has any other questions, like as far as the products and, you know, sorry y'all. Yeah, as far as
if they have any questions, go ahead and comment below.
Yeah. But other than that,
I know this is kind of like early in the middle of the day.
Right.
But you can add this to your page so people can watch later. Yeah. I think when you come off, it just says add to IGTV. So as long as you have the IGTV app, you can just add it and it goes here so people can watch later. But yeah, if you don't have, there is a separate app for IGTV, because that's going to be the videos longer than 1 minute.
Right.
So when you do, or you can also download this. So then you could
Yeah.
always add it later or put it like some of my videos and lives I put on my YouTube channel. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions and would like to, you know, join us, we're in the midst, hit up Jillian. If you need more help or anything that, you know, she might not know fully, like especially with somebody who has like Crohn's, you know, let me know, let us know, and I can always be willing to help because I administered the 30-day mind-body healing transformation. So we're actually using this program, doing this along with meditations, affirmations, and everything. Jillian, I will call you to order this. Yes. So yes, this is definitely, you know, really well. Like I said, it cuts your bill. You cut your grocery bill down because it comes down to literally $11. Like this right here, my shake that I had, this was my first one because I fast in the morning and did not have my stuff later. Was $5.56 or something. Like it comes down to like I can't even go to a juice bar. Like one of my favorite juice bars, I love them, and they have like all clean organic. Their prices went up. They're like $12. Juice Generation here in the city.
Because I feel like it's a new trend now. So they're
so they went up a price. Like before, it was like 10.
Goes to my next question. Actually, the question I actually had in my mind, I forgot, is like, what would you say to those who believe that this product may be too expensive or they don't believe in investing, you know, their time or their money in in these products? Like, what would as a coach, what would you tell your clients?
Okay, good question. So I do have some people who are like, dang, that's a little bit, you know, right now. And I can understand where some people have to get their financial affairs in order. So it goes in different ways. And I kind of tell them this way, because I have some clients that literally eat out every day. Like they go and buy breakfast, they go and buy lunch, maybe dinner they may cook, but they probably spend like $20 a day eating out, right? At a minimum, $10, $12. Right. That right there, if you even just cut that out and start cooking, that pays right there. That cuts your costs big time. And for me, like that's how I used to be. And then if you eat clean and organic, all that stuff, you're paying way more money. So it cuts your grocery bill in half because literally it comes down to when you're spending like $11.50 a day because you get 2 of the shakes, you know, a day. Right? And then you have your fruits and vegetables and you have your one whole food meal. So it cuts your grocery bill down. I would definitely advise to kind of like look at where your financial affairs and stuff is in order. Also, too, when we are eating, even if you're eating clean, you may not be getting you are not getting the highest nutrients. So like, I don't know anywhere else, and I've been doing this, I've been living this lifestyle for myself a very long time, but I've been coaching this method and have looked and tried and done so many other things. I ain't never seen something where you can get something for $5.50 that you get all the highest nutrients on a cellular level than what you need. And I have people be like, oh, well, I'm doing this other thing, or you know, I'm drinking these shakes, or I'm doing something else, and they've been doing it for a while. And I'm like, how's that working for you?
Right.
You know, they it's like, well, but they're like not really losing the weight, or if they want to lose weight, or it's not really making them feel good, or skin's dull, like so many things. So it's very, very hard to find something out there. If you want to go and juice yourself, you're going to spend like a good 600 plus bucks a month. Oh yeah. I've done it. Yeah, like when I
used to, because produce don't last. Expensive. On top of that, like produce maybe lasts like a week tops. It may last maybe like, it depends how you store it. I've had situations where I would buy the dandelion root, and then the next day it's done. It's because it somehow got moist, and once a plant gets moist, that's it. So
and wheatgrass, if you go and get it yourself, that spoils really fast. So you don't have to worry about anything spoiling. Like for me, when I first started this, I didn't have any kitchen space, so juicing, all of that was hard for me. Right. So it's like it saves time. Like I said, I used to have to be out the door by like the latest like 5:20 in the morning. I ain't got time to be juicing. I'll wake up everybody in the house, and I don't get home till late. So
Yeah.
it's definitely convenient for people on the go and people who are out on the go. I mean, we're not as much on the go with the whole quarantine, like especially here in New York, but
I
some
mean,
people
but
are.
literally, it'll be lifted sooner than we think, you
Yeah,
know, where we're
yeah,
back to our normal day and we're back to
on the go.
working and on the go. And so, you know, right now, even in quarantine, we're kind of losing our immune system right now. Is that what I
Yeah,
said
because we're
back in
not
my
out.
stories? Because we're not outside and we're breathing. Even when we put those
We're
masks on,
bringing the mask on.
we're breathing our own air, which is
Hmm.
CO2, and you know, you're breaking down the immune system even more. So, you know,
And that's a tactic. I mean,
yeah,
I
I
don't want the
believe
people
so
coming
too,
on our.
but you know,
It's
conspiracy
a
theorists, you
plan.
know, they gonna come
Yeah,
after
because we
people that are
already
not
know, and I talked
conspiracy
about this.
theories
I
are gonna come
have.
after us.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to get attacked on here, but I did put 2 videos on my IGTV on my page where I talked about like the whole coronavirus and what any kind of viral. Because even if you get diagnosed, they don't give you anything, right? Because
No,
your body has to fight it. If you have a good gut health, you have a good you have a good immune system. You know
right,
what I mean? So
right.
that we just gonna put that there because we don't got
And
nobody. They really cut these videos off when people talk about stuff.
if you think about it, I've always been a very big advocate in health because, you know, you don't want to pay that big bill. You said that, you know, your aunt who had cancer, imagine what her hospital bills were.
Oh,
Imagine
it was
what
crazy.
someone who's paying for a diabetic, what their medication bills are like. You know, if we can do a preventative action right now and you're paying half of what you would be paying for medication, you know, it sounds good on the onset that you can go to a fast food restaurant and get something
And
for
pay like
$5.
$5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it sounds good on the onset, right? Because like it's just like, oh, this is in my budget. However, when your health declines, are you ready financially as well for that bill to come in? So, you
And
know, to
even if
think
it's like where
about,
your insurance pay for it, you're still paying
right,
a bigger cost by what you feel like. Like with
right,
me, right? Like back in the day, like I'm telling you, like when I first got diagnosed and everything, and I didn't know, you know, I wasn't surprised when it happened. Like even though I knew to eat clean, my financially I was tight. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like I remember having a job. I wasn't even making $30,000, living in New York City, like when I came back home from college. And I was just like, I'm just going to get dollar pizzas. Like, it's cheap.
right,
I could go and do what I got to do. I could still have some fun when I want to or whatever.
right.
And that's what made my health decline. And when that doctor told me I'm going to have to take this medication for the rest of my life, my insurance paid for it. I didn't have to come out of my pocket. But that was a
Mm-hmm.
bigger price. And then I didn't even know how sick I was going to be after taking those medications. So you pay the cost, period. I say to people, um, every moment that you continue, like we can have a cheat meal here and there. Y'all might
Yeah,
see me, don't mind your business if you see me eating a donut sometimes because I
listen,
deserved it.
that's your
So
business.
I always say, yeah, it's like, you know, you want the 80-20 rule. And for me, I
Right,
probably do like the 90-10. Like, you know, I still
right.
have stuff here and there or whatever. But to me, I always look at it every time you treat yourself, or people like, oh, that's too expensive. I'm gonna go and do something else that might not be as best of a quality. Like this is the best of the best, and I'm not just saying it. I'm saying it because I tried everything out there, and I ended up paying more.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get as best as results, or it took longer.
Right.
And I always say, every time when you don't make the right choice to take care of your body and we eat whatever, it's like swiping a credit card. And we're not paying the bill right now, but the more and more you keep swiping, you're going to have to pay that bill later. Or it's going to go to
Exactly.
collections. And collections could be you getting diagnosed with something. And that's what happened to me.
Yeah, and so that was just a really good segue into what I was gonna say after that, which is, you know, most of the time our health comes dead last as women. What would you tell
Yes, that's
your
so
coach?
easy.
What would you, as a coach? What would you tell your clients when they feel like, well, I'm gonna put myself dead last because I have children, I have, especially women of color. I feel
Yeah,
like.
we
I'm
tend to
not
do that.
discriminating here, but especially women of color, I feel like we always put ourselves dead last as far as our health. Everything else could look fly. Our hair could look fly. Our nails could look fly. Our clothes will look fly. However, our health will come dead last. I know there's some women out there that literally are running. And by the time they sit their behinds down, they're tired and then they're eating something really quick because they don't want to cook, or they don't
Yep.
want to, you know, but they'll cook for their family, but sometimes they're not eating, or they're
Yep.
not putting in the right nutrients. Like, what would you say to somebody, you know, that is being skeptical about the products that that we're talking about, as far as, you know, putting their health first? Like, what would you say to them if they said, no, this is too much, I can't, like, I don't have time, I can't do this, I can't do that? What would your advice be?
So that goes in many layers. For one, it gets personal to me because, as I just shared, my cousin had 6 kids, busy, like, you know, it was kind of like, oh, I can't afford it. She ended up doing it later finally, but it was a little too late, you know? So I would definitely say, like, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot take care of your family. You cannot be a great leader. You cannot be powerful in your business. You cannot, like, you know, like with me, like I said, I was broke. I was running my business. I'm a fitness trainer, but financially, because I was just looking at it like I need money in my pocket right now.
Right.
And then that goes into a mindset. I wasn't feeling good. Like my feet used to hurt so bad. Like my joints used to hurt because I was one of the autoimmunes. That was the side effect. I'm sitting here just saving a couple bucks in my pocket, eating stuff that wasn't good for me, and I'm hurting while I'm standing trying to take care of my clients and other people and my mom, or I spend extra money to take care of my mom because my mom had health issues, and I'm caring for everybody else, and I didn't take care of myself. So I literally was pouring from an empty cup, and it ended up biting me back. And then, like, you know, rest in peace to my cousin. She has 6 babies that she had to leave on this earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying not to get emotional here, but like it gets real. Like you can't run from this. You get what I'm saying? Like you must, and I see it. Like for me, I'm like, well, is there like a cheaper method? Can I do something else, you know, or whatever? You got to figure it out. Secondly, another layer to that is mindset. When I started, so much happens once you say yes to yourself. You're not saying yes to me. You're not saying yes to Jillian. You're not saying yes for, oh, okay, I support the product and the brand and the company. You're saying yes to yourself. And the moment you say yes to yourself, and because this is healing from a very deep spiritual, like when you got stuff coming from the earth, it's like all working together, right?
Exactly.
When you say yes to yourself, so much stuff starts to happen. When you start feeling good so much, I have people who come out of these 30-day programs with business ideas that produce more income for themselves. I have people who feel more good, where they're more productive at work, get a raise. I had one lady, literally, I've been working with her because financially she was tight. Like, you know, I had to figure out something for her. And we figured it out. Like I told her to cook, you know, because she was still, you spend the money anyway. You're spending money anyway. Sis be having like bad weaves, everything. You get what I'm saying? And I was like, okay. And she was like, I gotta have my hair done. And I get it. You know what I mean? But I was like, okay, like what's your latte factor? You know, when I say latte factor, because a lot of people go to, you know, buy a latte for like $6 or something every day. That stuff adds up. So I always kind of look at like, what do you pay your money the most now, where you can go without? Like, it's just a mental thing where you're holding on to, but it's actually hurting you 10 times. You get what I'm saying? And once you say yes to yourself and take care of yourself, it starts to open up. I'm telling you, like so many things start to open up. You start feeling good, and then you realize this is worth it. Because guess what? When you get sick and you get those medical bills and you end up got to pay for it, you figure it out too, right? So which one would be better? You want to start take care of it better. So that's the kind of conversation. If it still don't fit, I understand people are just not ready at the time. You know, this isn't anything to convince, but it's actually cheaper. Like it's just an upfront cost, but you paying less later.
Right. So, all right. Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So if you
and I'm proud of you for saying yes to yourself. Because you're saying yes to your kids as that goes, you know what I mean? And their next legacies and all of that. So
So, you know, my son, Ryan, he watched me work out and, you know, and all of these things. And now, like, he'll take, like, he has 2 wheels that kind of look like dumbbells. So he's like, look, Mommy, look what I can do, you know?
That's so cute.
Like, I want them to, like, they may not eat it. Like, I'm serious. My kids don't eat vegetables and fruits, but they know what it is because they see Mommy eating it. So
yeah, you should try the epigenetics because that's the same thing. It was a struggle with trying to get her child to, like, you know, eat vegetables. I have a few, and they like the epigenetics kids. Like, so you may want to try that because we do have a kids line.
Oh, great.
Yeah, see if they like it.
Out there
and it literally has pretty much a lot of the things that the Parashik has with the Biomed in it. So it's like, you know, it's helping, it's double. It's helping the kids to take care of their gut, their prebiotic, probiotic enzymes with the chlorophyll, the greens, and everything in the shake. And I think it's like a chocolate flavor. Like the kids like it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much. You're welcome, Queen. Thank you for coming on.
Yes,
And
thank
yeah, hit
you.
Jillian up. Like I said, Crohn's disease, you can have it. Is there any other questions or anything like that? Just let us know.
Yes.
So thank
Well,
you for
thank you,
tuning in.
Lauren. So,
You're
for
welcome.
those who want to follow her as well, her Instagram is at LCFITSYOU, all lowercase, right? So it's
Yeah, so
at
LCFITSYOU.
YOU. All right. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you. And if you guys want to, just because, like, Jillian's just starting, in my Instagram, on my stories, you'll see 30-day challenge, and you'll see people who I've helped and done in the past, their results too. And is
Yes.
it also, just to kind of quick answer a question, anybody who's looking to not, like, I have a few people who are like, well, I don't need to lose weight. I don't want to get skinny. I always say this is like to cleanse your gut, but keep your butt. Like you can still, and that's because of
Yes.
the aminos.
Yes.
You still keep your build. Like I still want to be like snatched but
Yes,
keep my booty.
honey.
So
Yes.
for people who feel like I don't want to lose weight, I'm actually trying to gain weight, this is a good way, because sometimes people have a hard time gaining weight because their body is not even taking in those nutrients. And that might be because they have a parasite. So I have a parasite video that I shared too. So just to
Yes.
kind of answer, because a lot of people think like, oh, this is for someone who's just trying to lose weight. I'm not trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
So it works because it's taking care of the gut health.
Which is most important anyway.
So thank you
Thank
for
you,
having me.
Lauren. All right.
Bye.
Bye.